we can finally take a look at all of the new strategies in the new update of Stronghold Protocol Alliance. So let's go through these one by one, talk about my first impressions, and talk about how I think you should probably play them. Okay, first one, Doberman. Obtain a pointing stick. The fuck does that mean? When used, adds extra enemies to the field? Grants extra funds if battle is perfectly cleared on your own. No unite phase. This is a win more thing. If you're a beast, you play this. You have to like tempo extremely hard in your early game. It just depends how much the extra funds is. This can be good. You get a lot of HP, but it doesn't give you combat power until you proc the first instance of extra funds. You could probably okay, so it's every 2 rounds. So round 1, you don't level, you just hit everything. Round 2, you don't level, you hit everything. I assume it's not so ridiculous to use this that round on round 2, and then it should be fine enough if you have a strong board, and then you should be able to have the extra funds to push to level 3 instantly, maybe even level 4. But that depends entirely how many extra enemies there are and how many extra funds you get. So this is like a testing thing. Bad intro for that. Okay, Catherine, I've played this once, a couple times really, trying to unlock all of these. This is a very good strategy. One of the best comps for this is obviously Victoria because you get buffs for every item equipped. But the idea is you don't even necessarily have to play Victoria because you get a choice of 3. So the idea is you can kind of tailor your item choices, not really. I guess it's more like an augment selection in TFT where you can pick what fits your comp better. Like I've seen some of the endgame Laterano items. I've seen some of the Victoria items. I've seen the Aegir items. I've even seen the +1 deployment limit, so that's pretty good. So this is honestly a very strong tempo pick. You're able to get your carries to be a lot stronger than usual because you get your items a lot earlier than usual, and you get to pick and choose your item, and that's a very powerful effect. Catherine, very good. Malkowick, Malkowick. Start with the commercial packaging plan. For every 8 operators sold, obtain 1 copy of the equipped operator. This item in general, I've not had much experience with it. I've never bought it, so I don't think I have a very good understanding of this. You start with it at the very beginning, and it's not insane that you're like selling operators throughout your game. So on average, if you're playing normally, you're gonna proc this a couple times, like within the first like 8-10 rounds, which is okay, but it's equipped to a shitter. Chat's telling me that you want to have this on with an investor combo, which makes sense. But the issue is you do not have the combat power. You're not getting a combat power or acceleration from another operator or from another strategy to get you to the investor combo. This is a particularly weak early game versus like let's say Justin Jr. for example can kind of accelerate you to get to the point to get to the investor combo with the infinite gold of Cannot. But here you're weak in the early game until you hit the investors, and then this is broken. This is broken then, but really bad early. So this is kind of in my head a gimmick. You have like a 10% chance of hitting, I guess, if that. Every other time it just sucks. I never learned how to pronounce this name, but I loved her when I saw her. Kisa, scavenger butterfly. When an allied operator is defeated, other allied units on the field gain 20% attack. This is quite good. This is insane on Aegir. This is really, really good if you're resilience stacking. There's another comp that I saw recently. The Texas, the Amartosa comp, where you're resilience stacking and then playing Texas on the 2 Originium tiles so that Texas like repeatedly dies and respawns over and over again and keeps casting your skill. This ticks up really, really quickly. It's very narrow, obviously, but this is really strong in those 2 comps in particular. I would recommend this if you're like trying to hard force. It's like the same thing as taking like the Aegir thing here. Like you already know what you're gonna play. You're just gonna go for it. It's pretty good. Really strong effect. Chen, really good. This is kind of just disturbing effect. If you recall, the robotic arm item is a tier 4 item that gives this exact effect to 1 unit. Well, this is just AoE to all your high grounds. Obviously, you can't be playing a melee comp like Vina Victoria suffers because you don't get this effect. Dagenbrecker, any late game melee ground units, this is pretty useless. But this is still wide enough, high ground operators, it's still a wide enough effect for you to play rather flexibly with it. It's not so narrow. So I think this is really, really good. It's kind of a disgusting amount of value because, like I said, a tier 4 item in all your units. It's just kind of crazy. Next is a Deasti cluster. On round 5, grant an isomorph, so a spat if you're playing TFT. When equipped together with certain other equipment, so you just start with a spat. It's on round 5. It can cap decent, but it's not. I don't think it sounds insanely incredible to me because you get a Deasti cluster anyways when you play Mumu, right? When you buy a Ulysses in your late game, you get this item already. This is to hit the 6 trait earlier, which can be good, but you already are not really struggling to do that if you're playing fine. So I can't imagine that this is that good. It's inconsistent. Yeah, like what Axe Murderer is saying. You're not really gonna, like, you can't guarantee the trait item. Like, it's not all that unlikely to find a Yanni's dagger or whatever, but it's still, like, random. There's, like, 6 different ones that you're just randomly getting. I can't imagine this is very good. To me, this is an L, but I can see why it would be fine. Pith. On round 1, you gain a special operator that deals a bunch of status effects. This operator gains harmony. So this is a extremely interesting one in that you only need to use one of each effect. It's kind of like a strictly better Deasti, but it caps less lower. Rather, it's an easier to use Deasti cluster, but it caps lower in the sense of just the harmony itself, because this operator gets that. The issue is, 1, you cap out down 1 unit. Dusk for last? Sure, I could do that. Because instead of playing 6 really good units, you're playing 5 really good units and this piece of shit. But where this is in particular good, I haven't tried this yet, but in my head, in your custom operators, you play Victoria, you bring Tragodia because she's already a Victoria, and you bring Mantra, because Mantra works really well with the nervous impairment. So in my head, like, if I were to lab that comp, that sounds quite good. Outside of that comp, this is a strong early game strategy to hold you over for you to get to the late game because of the harmony effect allowing you to play so many traits. So yeah, this isn't bad. I like this quite a bit better than Deasti, but like I said, Deasti cluster does cap higher. But yeah, chat wants me to leave Dusk for last, so we'll move on. Cannot! This is kind of like, we're back to traditional auto chesses. We're out of the super auto pets kind of territory that Stronghold Protocol is, where leftover funds can be saved for the next round. Quite good, but this requires a lot of testing. I need to figure out the correct intervals. So I haven't made this video yet, but I believe you're at the very latest supposed to be at level 4 if you're playing like traditional at round 8. This should change that to like round 6, I would think, but I have to know specifically how you're supposed to play it. But it's economy. You'll have a weaker early game because you're not buying a million things, but also gives you an added like move of, okay, before you would just punt all your money on rerolls because what else would you do with your money? You're gonna lose it. Well, now you don't have to, and you have a bigger thing of econ for the next turn. Plus the 5 funds is a powerful effect where you just get +1 extra funds per round. Like that's just generally really good. This only becomes inconsequential if you hit the Foresight 100 stacks cash out, where then you just have too much gold to work with anyways in the first place. But this can help you get there. I think this is quite good, but needs a lot of testing. Duck Lord. This one is a fucking meme. I kept playing this game with my chat, and they kept clicking Duck Lord, and I kept getting run down by this stupid bear and the fat ass rat. Okay, theoretically, this sounds kind of good, but it's completely RNG. Because you get a lot of extra funds. If you're building your boards correctly, it shouldn't be too absurd to be able to build this or beat this by round, let's say, 9 or 10. You should be able to consistently kill these things. The issue is from round 5 until then, you're just going to keep bleeding life over and over again. Because of that, you're going to have significantly weaker early games. You're not going to have room to get to your late game because nobody is going to proc Unite phase because the Duck Lords are going to keep running you down. You just get no Unite phases allowed if this shit happens until like round 10 when everyone's strong. So like it's a meme. If somehow you all 4 players high roll their early games, it's really good. But until then, Okay, last off, Dusk, painted into reality. I've never read this before. Obtain a special scroll. On use, you can copy an operator within use range. Completely copy them. Includes elite status and carried equipment. What? Okay, question for chat. If you do this, do you get there when obtained bonus? This is another method of printing Yara's Nevermelt Ices, if that's true. Because you get Yara with Nevermelt Ice already equipped, then you clone it with this item, and then you get a fuck ton more ices and you promote her. Like, hello? Another question. do you only get one of these, or do you keep getting these every round? Because like for Quintus, you get this thing, and it doesn't state it, but you get it every single round. It also doesn't state it here. So I don't really know how the wording works. Does anybody know? If this is every single round you get it, it's broken beyond belief. It's only one? Okay, if it's only one, I still think this is really good. But this has the same issue as any of the other weak early game strategies where you have to get to the late game for this to be good, because there are potential Exodias. For example, if you hit a Saria, you can instantly clone it, get another Saria, and the technique for that would be have your items on an item holder at the ready to be sold at a moment's notice. Put your items on the unit you want to clone that unit, and that, oh, you can only clone one equipment, huh? Well, regardless, it'd be like, Saria, okay, I'm going to clone the Saria, now I have two Sarias, and I have them both on the Heidi, or the Lin, or the whatever that generates you infinite stacks. It's a really good generation. You can also use this normally in the sense of, it's just a free elite. It's kind of like the Mimic Cluster, the one gold item that's like a tier 5 that lets you dupe a thingy so you can make it elite. That's really good, which is just a good tempo play. Okay, the more that I think about this, the better it is, even if it's only one use. Because you could just tempo out with it. Because, like, let's say it's like you have a early game, let's say tier 3 or tier 4 unit. If you upgrade that to get the added bonus effect, the better attribute from an elite operator, that can carry you to the late game. That's just really good value. It's like in TFT, if you're lesser Nicoing, or even full Nicoing if you're a fucking psychopath, a 3 cost to tempo your early game so you can get to the late game. Yes, it's not like a ton of value. You're not getting a magical 3-star out of it, but you're able to get to this stage of the game healthy enough. Cruce is +2 stacks. Warfarin's a good one, +2 stacks. If you like dupe these units instantaneously, it just makes it a kind of a crazy condition. And that's just the normal case. What chat's saying is that you can just dupe your fully loaded out character. I will say that's inconsistent. Using it like that is kind of hard to do because, again, you're weak in your early game. But, like, yeah, if you have an Executor Altar, duping that is just crazy. If you have an elite Executor Altar that's double stacking on your Laterano and Foresight, you can go infinite. That's insane. But yeah, Dusk is extremely powerful. There's a lot of things to test out with. Wow. With equipment's important too. Yeah, with attack speed item. Like, let's say you dupe the Rage Blade. Like, isn't that nuts? Like, even just looking at items. Because you only need 2 for these, so that it's easy. Like, duping the, this one for Blaze Altar. Duping the Miniature Accelerator is broken beyond belief. This is such an unbelievably good item. But yeah, those are all of the new strategies in the most recent update of Stronghold Protocol and my first impressions of them. A lot of testing to do, but we'll see. Meow.